Now that my practice is largely public art, my workspace is not just the studio or my desk anymore. I'm out and about in public, and that's a whole different experience to create work for the community where they can see it. Hi, my name is Lynn and I am a visual artist based in Mississauga. I'm going to show you to my studio. So this is where I can really spread out and make a mess. I am quite fond of this space, partially because it reminds me of the studio I had in my last year of undergrad. I spent a lot of time in there creating, but also hanging out with my studio buddy Lindsay and watching a lot of movies and eating a lot of deep fried pickles. Here is a look at my current sketchbook. This is when I was trying to figure out some ideas for a mural project. And I go from sketches in my book to a digital drawing. And once I have the digital drawing, I put it together in a mock-up on the computer. And I'm gonna take you to see a few of these projects. Let's go. This is Spike and Flaps, and it is at 25 Lakeshore Drive. I tried to be really energetic and loose with the lines to match the energy of the kids that play on the other side of the fence. Here we are at Alderwood. This is currently my biggest painted mural and my first portrait mural. The bunker is painted on all four sides, and it's super cute when the kids come out to play in this area because I designed it so that when they stand in front of the mural, they're the same size as the painted children. Here we are at Picnic Pals. You can find it at Steele's and Kipling. It's one of my personal favorites from this past year. And this design was originally an illustration I made for my 2020 holiday cards. This past week, I was drawing on some storefront windows on Eglinton Avenue West with steps as part of the I Heart Main Street program for the holidays. This is for Isle of Coffee. Their name is inspired by Wes Anderson's Isle of Dogs, so I got to draw a lot of dogs. This is for Hotel Gelato and Goûter. I love visiting shops and malls during the holidays because of all of the decor and the pretty lights, so it's great to be a part of it this year. I'm also preparing for a large indoor mural at the Peel Children's Aid Society. This is the design for one of 3 walls, and it's for their playroom, so it's going to be super cute and colorful. Lots of little elements so the kids can play I Spy. Here is a look at my old sketchbook. These were the plans for some characters and the storyboard for a stop motion animation project. It took me some time to figure out how I wanted to create the puppets and the backgrounds with color and how to layer all these translucent elements without it looking visually really cluttered or confusing. A lot of my practice is about finding ways to share the stories that I've encountered. I collect a lot of bits and pieces, and over time, these bits and pieces form a larger narrative, or I find a connection between them to form a larger narrative. And I am also inspired by ways of storytelling. For example, illustration, animation, shadow puppetry, folk tales. And I think it's important to note that nature is also a large part of our communities, the plant and animal life that we share our space with. So I try to include diverse representation, not only our human population, but the plant and animals as well. I'm going to take you to one of my favorite spots. It's where I go when I need to cheer up a little bit or I need a refresh. and some inspiration. Let's go. Here we are. This is the Gardens by Visual Arts Mississauga. This is one of my go-to places, the gardens and the trails by the river. Thank you so much for listening, watching. See you around.